So my first question, straight, cryptocurrency, the entire world of cryptocurrency, I should say, is the talk of the town. Do you feel that India recognized it late?
I, I think no. It seems like that. I wouldn't say no. It does not seem like we've recognized it late. But I think for a country the size of India and with so much of diversity and so many things happening, not to forget the whole pandemic and what as a nation we are going through. I think I don't think we are. I would say we are not early, but we are also not late. We are probably the right time where you've not taken that risk of being at ground zero, where it may or may not grow up, and you've not also overhedged yourself to a situation where it's too late to enter and not be a part of it. So
Absolutely.
just about right. I think I would call it that.
Timing was just right.
Yeah.
Now, India introduced the budget proposal of taxing digital assets. So now can the sector say that India has formally accepted it? Does it give the stamp?
Yeah. See, the thing is, there are, again, this is, acceptance is a spectrum. For a long time, I think nobody accepted the internet. Then after a while, some sectors accepted it. For a long time, I think even maybe 3 years ago, I've heard founders of really large offline companies talking in about the internet, saying, this is an offline business, it will not run online. And the same founders have now created online presences, kept a budget. So the same thing happening in India.
Or have invested in online platforms.
Yeah, or invested or gotten acquired also by online platform. But I think what is happening is coming in phases. And as far as the government is concerned, I think the government's involvement really began in 2018, 2019, when the draft bill came up. And the involvement was to create a committee which would prepare a bill. Unfortunately, the bill was a lot draconian to anyone who understands crypto, with jail term and whatnot. But I think later I've also had discussions with Mr. Garg, who's headed that bill, where he specifically said that the intention of that bill was only with the lens of looking at crypto as a replacement to a currency or a competitor to a currency. And he said they never intended to get that for crypto assets or crypto utilities. And that, I think, definition has gotten now clear with the budget, because there is now a new definition, official definition for what these crypto assets are. They're being called an asset. And I think the FM also has made it clear that these are all, whatever is being created in the public domain, those are all assets, and only what crypto the RBI creates will be a currency. And I think that distinction was really necessary, because in India, many who are not into crypto were confusing that everything is competing with INR. And the simplest way to know that it is not is the fact that INR is supposed to be stable, while Bitcoin and other cryptos, they keep fluctuating. You can't use them for, let's say, buying a piece of bread, because by the time you buy that bread, the price would have either gone down where the seller is upset, or it would have gone up where the buyer is upset. So, you need a stable currency for transaction, which is what INR and other fiat are. But these are all assets which can keep fluctuating. The Bitcoins and the other cryptos, they're assets and utilities. And I think that distinction has come in India, which is a great thing. And I think now we have that clarity where I think before the budget, the worst case for the sector was, will there be a ban? What will I lose all of my assets? Versus today, the worst case seems to be, I have to pay 30% income tax. What do I do about that? So we've gone from really bad worst case to acceptable worst case. So I would say great growth and progress from a regulatory point of view in India.
Sure. Now, digital assets is a wide term, as laid out by the Indian government. Now, does all forms of such digital currency come under it, like whether it's Bitcoin or any other that form, cryptocurrency? There are various cryptocurrencies. So do you believe that, as you mentioned in the last answer as well, does it address that the definition? Does it address all forms of cryptocurrency?
That's a good question. And the thing is, it addresses a lot more. The definition is so broad. It's a very complicated thing to even define crypto, just FYI, not just an India problem, a global problem. But the definition has been so broad that I think they've also kept one statement there saying we will put exceptions as we progress. Because they wanted to make sure. I think the objective was not to leave out anything, but I think they also understand because of that they might unknowingly have included things that are not really digital assets or tokens at all. But yeah, the definition is so broad that even non-fungible tokens like all the NFTs that you keep hearing about, even those are included. It's not just for bitcoins and ethers and other crypto assets, but also for non-fungible tokens. This definition falls for all of those. So it's quite broad, I would say, and it will get narrowed as we progress.
Naturally, the countries, I mean, the entire system is learning about it now.
Yeah.
Now, Nischal, will mere taxing the gains from it, the trade of the crypto assets or the digital assets, taxing them at 30% help in creating a formal cryptocurrency ecosystem?
I mean, anything that you do as a nation, which is not taking you back in this technology, I would say that is progress. And that is what has happened here. By bringing in taxation, it's set out a ripple effect. And I'll tell you how. One is people who are already into crypto, they were paying their taxes, but they always had confusion. So, confusion was, it goes from anywhere from, am I really needed to pay taxes, which you are, but many people think it's not defined, so I should not pay taxes. So there is that confusion. To others saying, will there be capital gains? Am I supposed to file it under? What income should I file it under? And let's not forget, this is forming a substantial income for a lot of people who are into crypto. So this taxation brings that clarity to them. And then there is this large section of people outside crypto who've been saying that, the government has said nothing. I should not really get involved in the sector because I don't know what will happen tomorrow. There might be a complete ban. And then similarly, there are also corporates who are thinking the same thing, that even if we get in as a corporate, how do we file our income taxes? What do we do? What do we tell the government? Now, because there is taxation clarity, everyone's confidence has been boosted. Everyone who's not in crypto. People in crypto are, I would say, courageous people because they're early movers. But I think even those outside crypto, now they've gotten that confidence that at least if I make money, I can, declare it without fear. Because before people were like, okay, let's say I make money. Can I declare it? Will the government be upset about it? Will someone else be upset? Now they're going to be happy about it. They're going to charge you a 30% income tax on your profits. So yeah, I think that confidence has been boosted. So this move is definitely a good one. There are downsides. If you want me to discuss, I can talk about the downsides of this income tax, but these are the upsides.
Sure. Now, a large chunk of initial private sector banks don't allow their account holders to purchase cryptocurrency from their accounts. How, as an entire industry, you all are tackling this?
See, it's been a long, process to bring in and instill confidence in all the banks. And I think it's been going on, but it's not been an easy path because, they're all worried of uncertainties. Now, I think what has happened immediately after the income tax clarity, a lot of banks have started reaching out. We are already in discussion with multiple banks because now they've gotten that confidence that it's in the tax book of the government. There is a definition. The government expects income taxes. So as a bank now we can participate. And I think that is definitely a positive outcome again. But it's going to take some time. And I think now the question is, which is that one or two banks which are going to jump in, and then what will happen is the other banks will feel left out because the crypto industry has a lot of opportunity for these banks to earn revenue, earn income. And the point is, if you are certain this industry is growing, the early banks are going to be the ones who are going to really become like a large player in the industry. And then the industry will not have interest in, let's say, switching banks later if the payment gateways are working fine. So that's just a small window for any of these banks to become a large player in this sector. And I think they're realizing that. So someone's going to grab it. The moment that happens, maybe one or two players will last. The other banks will not have an entry point at all because I know every exchange in India right now, we are processing about billions of dollars on a monthly basis, I'm sure, which will go to some of these banks. So let's see which banks picks up. But I think right now discussions are still going on. Early stage. But really, I think we are now more confident than before.
Who does the bandwagon, who rides the horse? It's about that now, as you mentioned. Now, question over the TDS, 1%. Crypto to crypto trade, crypto to INR conversion, 1% TDS. Who cuts? Who gives? His PAN will be disclosed. All these, things are there. Any consensus you see being formed on that with the government or with the authorities?
I think still early. So as an industry, we'll have to definitely reach out with all of these questions. As you rightly pointed out, I think the nuances of this have not been thought out. To be fair, if you look at it from an announcement point of view of TDS, I think it's not been thought out on how will the buyer really pay that. How will are the platforms where the buyer and the seller are involved, are the platforms responsible, or are these people responsible? So that's one aspect, which is the filing of these and who takes charge of that, which I think is easier to solve, because I'm pretty sure the government will also understand and put it on the platforms if you're on a platform, because there are also privacy risks for anyone trading otherwise, where they'll have to start sharing their details to the other party, which a lot of people don't want to. But I think the bigger issue here, more than this, the filing, is one where what happens to day traders who rotate their money several times a day. Now, if you are a person who's trading once a month, twice a month, or once in few weeks, I don't think it's going to pinch you, because it will get adjusted according to your profit income tax in the future. But if you are someone who, let's take, for example, have 1 lakh rupees to invest and you're day trading, and crypto has hundreds of thousands of people. I'm not talking about 100 or 1,000, hundreds of thousands of people, probably millions every day, who are trading every day on a daily basis. And their profit is, if you make 0.1, 0.2%, they'll sell it, then again buy it, then again sell it. That's how probably they make 1% or 2% a day overall. Now, if we are talking about 1% TDS every time there is a sale, that's like 1% every 2 hops. So you're going to lose all of your capital, not lose, get your capital locked in TDS in, like, let's say 200 to 300 trades. Now that's a bad thing for the high frequency traders and the day traders. So this is something that we are trying to sort of think of intraday traders. It's going to be really hard for them to work on 1% TDS. So, and it's not like someone's trying to avoid the taxes, just that there's a refund process. So it's also going to be a nightmare for the government also to process these refunds every year. So I think, again, it's in both sides' best interest to relook this 1% TDS, at least for the active day traders. And I'm sure there will be it's a simple solution. It's not really that hard. But I think we have to have a dialogue and hope that there will be a resolution.
Sure. Now, do you still feel that, a long road is yet to be traveled before this becomes the language for 1.4 billion Indians?
It depends on, what lens we look at it. If we are looking at it as a pure adoption lens, where, everyone in India is aware of it, I don't think it's not that far. I'll tell you why. One is in the budget, there was also the announcement of a CBDC, a central bank digital currency, or a digital rupee, as our finance minister put it. And she specifically put the term blockchain. So it's going to be blockchain based. Now, the beauty of this CBDC will be that adoption of this technology and understanding of this technology will skyrocket the day RBI releases this. Because, everyone will have to learn about it. It's sort of government powered education of crypto. And I can't see anything better than rapid adoption of crypto happening compared to a CBDC. So I'm not worried too much about the adoption side of it. The dampener could be that despite the taxation, people are still waiting for regulation. And regulation is important because this is a financial market. If you look at the financial markets, they're always regulated. And that's where the people's demand are coming for regulation. And I rightly believe regulation is important. And that might take a longer time. And it's not an India problem, it's a global problem. So if you look at US, if you look at UK, or any of the large markets with large economies, they've not been able to come up with a regulatory framework for crypto because it's very complicated. And the complication comes from the fact that crypto can take any form and shape and definition. It can be an asset, it can be a utility, it can be a currency. It depends on how you use it. So it's going to be really a challenge for every nation. And I think that's where it'll be sort of a dampener for those who specifically want to get involved only if there is regulation. But otherwise, I think the rest of the major part of India will not be worried. And if CBDC is coming, I'm sure there will be some regulatory, twists and
That's also
tweaks.
been taken.
Yeah. So I think adoption-wise, I'm not too worried. I think in the next 2 to 3 years, India will see over 100 million people in crypto. Now, of the billions of people we have, I think 400 or 500 million is online. So I think 20% of that population coming into crypto is a huge win in a short period of, let's say, 6 to 7 years in total. Because 2017 is when crypto really took ground in India, where everyone started understanding about it. Before that, it was niche. So 2017 to we go to, let's say, 5, 6, 7 years. I think 23, 24, 2024. There'll be a good number to have 100 million plus people.
That's a good, you can say, a projection to look at. Now, since you mentioned, there are the certain flip sides of the 30% taxation also. What are the expectations that you all seek from the government?
I think the first is, if you look at the status quo today, those who are in the 30% bracket, earning more than 10 lakh, if I'm not wrong, they don't have to worry. Nothing changes for them. So, it's fine for them because they've been already paying it in the 30% bracket. Yeah. But there is a large portion of India who do not make an income which is taxable, who do not make an income which should be payable at 30%. There are 10% bracket, 20% bracket, 0% bracket. And this is a large part of crypto as well. Now, the problem for them is, one, you have to pay at the highest.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you in between, but a person earning less than 10 lakhs annually, is he there in the crypto world?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can start in crypto with 100 rupees. So people are starting with 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, 2000. They might make 100 rupees. The problem is, even if you make 100 rupee profit, you have to pay 30 rupees in income tax. Paying is one thing, but the whole process of paying is also the other thing which everyone will have to understand. The good side for a country like India is these are all savvy people, or at least they understand crypto and they're into crypto. So maybe our tax population will increase, which is very interesting. But I don't know if it is right from a point of view of someone earning a very low income, where the concept of income tax was that the people on the lower income bracket should not pay income tax because there are so many expenses they have to really bear in their normal life, that the government has said that there is no income tax if you are below X amount. So why all of a sudden now, for the hard work that these people do and earn in crypto, we are taxing it at 30%? So I think that might be, and that has shown, India has shown, I think there's a campaign being run where 60,000-70,000 people have signed online. It was trending in India, reduce tax or something. It was trending in India on Twitter for 1 day or 2 days. So there's this whole campaign that is going on. And I think it is something that the government should definitely look into and explore to give some breather to people who are not in the 30% bracket. But otherwise, I don't think it's a problem for those who are already in the 30% bracket, because nothing changes for them.
Nothing changes for them. Sure.
The other downsides are there. I mean, I can go on and all because I've been hearing a lot of downside, like you can't offset the losses, which again is ultimately a downside, a big downside. So yeah, I think that's the other thing that people are worried about.
The losses are on your head, profits you taxed. Yeah. Now, as the budget also mentioned that RBI to introduce India's own digital currency or rupee. What do you feel it will be like? Do you feel yourself and other founders be a part of the formulation process? Do you wish RBI consults sector professionals?
I absolutely wish RBI consults, because I can tell you that there is no one out there except for the entrepreneurs in India today, inside India, who knows more about the on-the-ground realities of crypto than anyone else. So if someone's telling that we are going to create a digital currency, I think they should definitely take the insights and understanding from all of the entrepreneurs and the people who are working on the ground, because there is a theoretical knowledge that you require, and there is also a practical knowledge, and you can fast forward that by interacting with the industry and getting all of the data, the understanding, the flip sides to it, the downsides, what are the issues. Because otherwise what happens is you run experiments and then you will figure out all of these issues. We've already faced them. We've already been tackling them. So I think it would be a smart move to involve the crypto industry in this whole consultation process, understand, get the data. And, because I truly want the CBDC to succeed, not just in India, but for the first time, the rupee has a chance of being a global currency. And I'll tell you how this will really work out well for rupee is Indians today form a majority of any website in the world. We are not talking just India. Take any website. Take Facebook, for example. Hundreds of millions of people on Facebook.
From India.
Right? Now, Facebook has definitely set up a base in India, converted to rupee, sure. But it took them so many years to do that. Similar to Facebook, there are so many other websites I can tell you who are earning a lot of money from Indians, but they're accepting only the dollar. Why? Is, we know what the state is. Now, if a CBDC comes, they can integrate the INR directly and take INR from Indians. So what happens is INR slowly becomes a global currency. And what that does to the INR and to the Indian economy, it strengthens our economy. And that, I think that is an amazing opportunity in front of India. And we should explore that and really go deeper and go fast. I think, there will be a time period for a few currencies to become that global digital currencies. And the dollar is definitely ahead right now because they have allowed private players to form their stable coins, which are backed by the dollar. But India is going this route of launching a CBDC, and India should do it fast. That'll be really helpful for India.
Sure. Now, my last question. A lot of celebrities started to endorse advertisements posted out by crypto platforms or companies which are there in cryptocurrencies, Ranveer Singh being one of them. And they were also earlier questioned as to why they are doing that when it is not a legal tender or something. Now with this, do you see a lot of advertising muscle is now required for the crypto exchanges or companies involved in this so that now they can go all out and to educate the common man?
Yeah. I think if the term is educate, I think we should all go out. If the term is to, let's say, entice people, show them a dream of, doubling overnight or doubling in even a month or anything, I think that is not the approach to take. So, I think what we've done as an industry also we're trying to do is make sure that these advertisements are responsible advertisements. And it is important as an industry which is not regulated to be doubly responsible. And you might say it is harsh, but I think it is the right approach because we are not a regulated industry. So instead of taking a very loose stand on advertisement, we should take a tighter stand. Maybe our threshold should be even bigger than the existing traditional financial markets. So I think and that stand is education. Just educate, and be it a celebrity, non-celebrity, anyone. I appreciate celebrities. See, I think we should look at the thing that, for example, Ranveer Singh took that conscious decision to back a new technology. And, I think that's a really brave effort because if we, keep looking at it in the lens of, was that right or wrong? I think no celeb will ever want to try any new technology after that, and we'll be left behind. And this is happening in the US. Every celeb is backing in the US also. So if it is from an education point of view, I think it's a great move. And as an industry, we're trying to do that. We're trying to go that direction, setting up guidelines for everyone that go in the educative mode. And, that'll be great for the industry.
As at one point of time, how mutual funds came up with the advertisement that mutual funds say. And it was more of an education to make people aware that investing in mutual funds is nothing but similar to investing in stocks. You're just giving money where a person takes responsibility to dispute in whether other stocks. And that's how mutual funds say. And I'm sure when more evolution happens in a particular sector, the advertising will also bloom.
Get more responsible also.
Absolutely. We will become responsible also. With that, Nischal, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Visionary Talks by Governance Now. It was a complete pleasure. And thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for also joining us. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.